Welcome to another edition of Ed Talks. We're going to tackle one of my favorite things. That's new book releases. I've got my friend Julie to talk about her new book. Julie, welcome to Ed Talks.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
Hey, I love it when people take the opportunity to write. You know what it's like being a writer. Well, I shouldn't say it's like having a baby because I will never know. I never have one, but I do know that it's a long process, a lot of gestation, and it's painful. And at the end, you're happy when you give birth. So, so anyways, I'm really excited to talk about the new book and you share with the audience a little bit about it because I want everyone to go buy this because all about leadership by design. It's a frame for team member development, which is so critical because it's not about you or me, the individual leader, right? It takes a team. And so if you're not intentional on the team, nothing's going to happen. Nothing, you're not going to meet the optimal experience for anyone, including the organization. So tell us about the book.
Thank you so much. You know very well how long of a process it is. I think I've never heard that analogy. It's very good. Tell you a little bit about my background. I have been in healthcare for over 25 years, which is very hard to believe. I've been a nurse for 25 plus years, at the bedside for 10, and IT leadership for 20 years, which is how we were able to meet and come into contact. I am very, very thrilled to be able to provide this book. And what this book is all about is about developing the team, just like you mentioned. But it's a really tangible way to deliberately develop people. When I first got into healthcare, even before I was in management, I was always that person to say, how do I get to the next level? How do I go from a level 1 to a level 2? When I got into management, I was a manager. Once I got my feet under me, I looked to the side and I said, hey, they're a senior manager. How do I go from a manager to a senior manager? And oftentimes I've got the same answers, which were, well, tenure, step up, show leadership. But I didn't have anything that really gave me those steps I needed. And then I got into leadership and I fell into exactly the same trap. How do I advance? How do I go to the next stage? And it might not be a level 1 or a level 2. It could be, just to be clear, it could be from an application analyst to a systems analyst to a project manager. So it really is about individualizing what does that team member want to do? Where do they want to go? And then how can you develop them there? Another great thing about this framework is it's not healthcare specific. It's not information technology specific. It doesn't matter if you're talking about information technology, web developers, if you're talking about banking, recruiters. I even spoke to somebody in the last couple of days that read the book, and they actually own a gym here in Daphne, Alabama, no off season. And he said, wow, this just completely changed the way I managed and developed my team. And it was really something I could immediately put into place. That meant the world to me.
Yeah. Well, like you said, leadership kind of a universal thing crosses, over healthcare and other industries, and especially parts that you're getting through. And those are sort of my two takeaway. One is the personalization, right? You're not suggesting, oh, everyone should be encouraged or rewarded or you know, um, given. Oh, I'm in the work. I think where I was at in the same way. Everyone's a little different. So you should personalize your approach. I think you already mentioned this. It's just super practical in nature, right? Because you're giving like actual tools.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and giving the ability to develop those tools for your team, whatever team you might have. And it really takes you through it uses, I don't want to get too deep into it, but it uses this Dreyfus skills of skills acquisition, Dreyfus model of skills acquisition. And it helps you to understand, how do I, as a leader, take this person who may be a novice and take them through all of those stages and develop them. And it really is something that's helped me in two ways. Not only has it helped me to develop team members where they want to go with their own personal goals, but it also has helped me to talk to team members who feel like, hey, I've been doing this a really long time. And because I have tenure and I have time in a position, I should have a promotion. But it frames it in a way, it frames a conversation to say, hey, you know what? You're not ready for a promotion, but let's talk specifically about how we can get you there, so it can turn that into from a negative conversation to a very positive, productive one.
I love that. And, I was just thinking that, and from reading the book, that if you have, I'm going to make up the analogy here on the fly, but if you have 10 units of investment And you take those 10 units, and a lot of times we as leaders want to just invest in ourselves, which is a good thing. So we're not saying don't invest in yourself, but if you put 10 units in yourself, you might gain and make it number up. I think I'm pretty close in terms of the ratios here. You can gain, let's say 10%, you became 10% earlier. You take those 10 units and you invest it in your team, impact is going to be 100-fold. I think we sometimes lose that. Because we're taught, and it's a good thing. You invest in yourself and do things that are very important. I think not forget, hey, invest in your team because you'll have even more benefits and improvements. That's what about the book. We're going to put all the information on how to get the book. Show notes. You have a website, and on the website explains everything. There's resources there. It's just amazing work. Really, thank you so much for sharing about them.
Thank you. Ed, I want to share one thought as we leave, if I could. It's something that has really impacted me here lately and something I've been sharing. Somebody said to me, it was right before Thanksgiving, but I think we need to remember it all year long. What if you wake up tomorrow and the only thing you have is what you thanked God for yesterday? And I think that that really is something that we can take, especially throughout holiday season and into the new year. Be thankful for what we have and hope
Yeah.
that we have that tomorrow.